to the Cloud Slayer podcast. Hope everybody's doing well. You know who it is. It's your boy. Um, oh man, there's a lot to touch about. I'm probably gonna name this one consequences though. Been thinking about it. It's been weighing heavily on my mind. Especially with like recent events with like the UFC and stuff like that. We had Dana White slapping his wife back after she hit him initially. Alcohol was involved, and I do like to touch on alcohol a lot, and you know, excuse me, and some of that stuff that goes along with it, and that includes consequences for your actions. You know what I mean? It's not good to hit anybody as a man or woman, especially when it's somebody that you love, somebody that you're married to, any of those things. You know what I mean? It's not good. And it's not good to put your hands on anybody whatsoever, especially if it's not yourself. Keep them to your freaking side. But um, if they're hitting you and you hit them back, I don't see much. I don't see much wrong with that myself because I was raised, no matter what, man, woman, you know, or whatever have you. Anybody puts their hands on you, defend yourself. At that point, they're trying to hurt you, and they don't care. They don't care how you feel or anything like that. That's how I was raised. That hit that motherfucker back, then they'll know you're for real too. So, but if you can restrain yourself, especially when you're more well known, especially in public, I suppose. Don't beat. I'm not saying beat your spouses in private. Don't You shouldn't put your hands on anybody. Period. Okay. But if you're gonna hit somebody, expect somebody's gonna hit you back, no matter what. It's not cool to hit anybody. That's my point. So, but expect somebody to hit you back if you're gonna put your hands on somebody. Keep your motherfucking hands to yourself, man. But it is what it is. Try to restrain yourself, and especially when it's a female hitting you, and you're a male. It's way more harsh for men right now, especially now. Um, it's it can be tough, but because women can hit hard too, especially all they have to do is clip you in one spot, and you can be out. Motherfucker can stomp you out and stab you. And right now, people just sit there and record, and they let the woman do that, and they don't restrain her. And a lot of these videos, but when the guy looks like he's gonna do it, they'll go attack him and stuff like that too. So don't put yourself in those situations. Try to leave if you can. Run away from motherfucker, unless if she's like a track star and you're just a normal dude that then she's probably gonna catch you and beat your whole ass. So, in those instances, especially if it's like life threatening, man, fucking swing on motherfucker, knock him out. You know what I mean? But don't stomp him out or anything like that. But I would advise you to try to leave though. The law's not gonna see it your way. Some people aren't gonna see it your way, whether you're man or female. Most, even more so when you're a male. So, if you're a woman, try to leave that situation as much as you can. Transgender, whatever, somebody trying to hurt you, get the fuck out of there. I don't discriminate against people that make their choices. You know what I mean? I made my own bad choices in life, especially when I was drinking. And I wanted to touch on drinking too. I do all the time, but when you're in that dark place and that place that you put yourself in that fucking pity party, um, it's hard to hold yourself accountable. But that's one thing you got to do. Hold yourself accountable, or else you're going to be facing consequences that you might not even think you deserve to face. You know what I mean? You might not even see that you did something wrong, but in society you did, and through the law you did. You might not have done it wrong in many people's eyes, but that doesn't matter. That's not what it's about. And that's not how the law is going to see it. And that's not how people are going to see it. You know what I mean? So you just got to be prepared for those consequences. What's the consequences of drinking too much? You lose control. Maybe Dana White wouldn't have slapped his wife back if he wasn't drinking as much. You know what I mean? But he was. That's the thing. And right now he's facing consequences for that. And sounds like they were calling for his job, but I don't know how true that is. I did retweet it. If anybody wants to see that, it's at CloudSlayer53. I'm on Twitter, boys and girls. So if you, it's a lot of MMA stuff. So if you don't like MMA, don't follow my Twitter. But on Facebook, it's more just funny stuff and weird wipeouts and shit. Whenever I see those, so my accounts are totally different. And then I do have an account also, CloudSlayer53 on Facebook, but that's mostly just my gaming stuff. So usually just my streams. So I just wanted those to be kept there more so. But unlike my Facebook, I post my podcast and stuff like that. So um, if you guys like the video more than you guys like the audio, please let me know. I mean, I can still do podcasts just on fucking YouTube. So I might just I could abandon Buzzsprout and stuff like that, but I'm just doing that just in case people do like that because it does post cross platform into many different platforms. So obviously, different sites and stuff like that, podcasting sites. So it is convenient, I guess, to try to reach out and hear more and get listened to more. If you're new to or want to get into podcasting, I do recommend it, especially if you want to get stuff off your chest and if you want to talk about everything that's been on your mind. You know what I mean? Do it. I advise it. I've done many podcasts just from my phone. You know what I mean? It's very simple the way everything's set up nowadays. They make it real easy for you to make a podcast. So just start recording whatever's holding you back. Work those out as you go. Don't be afraid to fail. You're gonna fail. I might be considered failing right now. I don't give a shit. I'm out here. I'm trying, and I want to make a better tomorrow for my family. You know what I mean? And what's the consequences of me trying to work hard and trying to improve as a person? You know what I mean? I don't know. It could be just failure because might not be trying hard enough. Might not be focusing on the right things. And you know what? The consequences is that I learn from my mistakes and that I get better from it. And don't get discouraged. You know what I mean? Maybe there's only one person listening. Maybe there's nobody listening. But get it off your chest, and it might just make you feel better. You know what I mean? It'll keep you from if it keeps you from drinking. If you're trying to stop drinking, you know what I mean? Start picking up other hobbies, making boats, or you know what I mean? Those little toy boats, little model planes, and all that shit too. Start running if you like physical activity. Don't be that person that's like, oh man, when I was in high school, I used to fucking do this and that. You can still do it, man. It's it's all up in here, all up in your mind. Only you're holding you back. Okay. Um, you're gonna face consequences with if you're just gonna sit around and eat and don't exercise. You know you're gonna have consequences. You're gonna be sitting there feeling bad about how you look, how you feel, and your inability to get up and do whatever the fuck you want at any time because you're glued to that couch and you're just sitting there wasting your life away. If you want to do that, that's fine. That's your choice, and then you're gonna face the consequences. You know what I mean? You might be facing poor health. You might not face poor health. You know what I mean? Maybe you can limit yourself. I don't know, but to help clear your mind, I do recommend doing something. You know what I mean? Go, just walk. Walking clears your mind and makes you not think about that fucking plague, that negative energy. Gets rid of that energy. Sweat a little bit. Eventually you might start running. You might love that, and that for sure clears my mind. I had that last podcast where I ran the whole time, or I jogged. It's really nice to have a sweat. So, native cultures, we do have sweat lodges and stuff like that, and that helps clear us out. Get all that yucky out of you. Um, we believe that through our pores that we get rid of that negative energy. So, combined with the cleansing and our prayers and stuff like that. So send it out back to the creator and they'll take care of it. So whether you believe in a God, creator, whatever you call the entity, if you don't believe in God at all, whatever, maybe just try it. Maybe it makes you feel better. You don't have to attach God's name to anything, or Creator, or whoever, whoever you believe in. If you don't believe in nothing, you don't have to attach anything to it. Besides, it makes you feel better. You know what I mean? So do something that helps you clear your mind and also makes you feel better. Um, so it's on you. Your actions have consequences. If you're not proactive in doing it, nothing's going to happen. Uh, if you don't care about what goes on in your life, nobody's going to care. You know what I mean? Life goes on. Even if they're your loved ones, they might not be in your life tomorrow. They can't carry you forever. So they'll teach you how to walk. But it's up to you to continue to walk. So um, don't blame them. Um, don't blame anybody. Um, Hold yourself accountable and prepare to face the consequences if you do nothing. You know what I mean? If you choose to do nothing, that's on you. That's not on your mommy, daddy, the government, or anybody else. You know what I mean? That's on you. Numero uno. So, um, like I said, keep yourself accountable. Keep your mind clear and stuff like that. There's other. There was just the guy that just got. He's facing jail time, manslaughter. Convenient store clerk shot and killed a armed man. Um, I don't know. I haven't seen a video or anything like that, so I don't know if he just like shot the dude because he seen a gun or something like that, or if the guy had the gun out, then he pulled his gun out fast, shot him or some shit like that, because that could have happened. But if he was defending himself and other people in the store, I don't see why he faced prosecution. You know what I mean? But I know the world's getting kind of weird and laws are being weird and stuff like that. But and there's instances where people like catch a robber and then like go to leave. You scare them off with a gun or something, and they break your leg on the way out, and then they get sued for it. Or like if you end up shooting them in the back or something. Like let's say they're facing somebody else, like your wife or something, your kid, whoever else in the house, or they heard something else over there, your cat, dog, whatever, and their backs to you, and then you shoot them, preventing them from shooting there. You shot them in the back. They weren't a danger to you, so why'd you shoot them? You could be facing prosecution for that. That's bullshit, right? Especially if you don't got it on camera. You got no proof. You only got your word and maybe theirs. They'll use the argument that whose mind is clear in those situations. Nobody's perfect, and they that could be a good counter argument, which it is, which it's not for defense. You know what I mean? So it only is if they're attacking you, and that's the way they see it. Because even though you're innocent until proven guilty, you're not always viewed like that, especially when you're facing a jury, people that don't know all of it. Because when you go to court, they might not allow you to say certain things. You know what I mean? So it's tough to keep that in mind. But if it was me and I come across those situations, I'm fucking unloading on somebody too. You know what I mean? But I also see it from the point of view that maybe they're in a situation where possibly that they have nothing, and maybe they could be trying to rob to get money for their kids or something. It's not a good way to go about it. People lose their jobs randomly, and they might not be able to get jobs after. You know what I mean? They might not carry a good reputation, or nobody knows them. So people are afraid to give people chances. That there's always that possibility. Your life throws curveballs at you sometimes. If I was sitting there and my son was starving and my son's sick or something like that, I might do some shit. You know what I mean? I might have to. I would have to. And those would be those consequences I would face. Somebody killing me or something. I would understand, because if I'm coming into their house and robbing them, putting their kids and family in danger, I'd react the same way. And I wouldn't blame them, but you know what I mean? We got to keep our open minds towards those things too. You know what I mean? It's scary because the law sometimes seems like it's against you no matter what, whether you're the victim or not. If you're a victim, they can still come and prosecute you. You got to keep these rules in your mind. But these guys that are attacking, that come into your house and guns blazing, shoot you any old way. You know what I mean? They might just get away with it, especially if you ain't got no cameras. They don't know you. You know what I mean? They could be some guy down the fucking road, and if they don't talk about it, they're never gonna get caught. So they'll kill you, take all your shit. They might be even 2 towns over. Man, they'll never catch you, especially if you don't talk about it. It's weird. We got robbed once when we went on a ceremony. So we went to ceremonies. We were kids. We had our neighbors break in our house. They didn't get in. They got in through the garage and they tried to hatchet the handle. Good thing they weren't like smart enough to just go break a window and get in that way, since they were practically breaking in, right? But they left all their like school clothes there. They had beer bottles, so they were drinking, because in the Hmong community they let their kids drink at a young age. So they were all fucking drunk. They they left all their shit there. They touched up all the windows and stuff, but um, forensics doesn't always work the way you think it does. Like if the fingerprints are slightly smudged, they're not going to be able to match them up. Um, Stuff like that. I learned that from going through a trial that happened here a few years back. A guy stabbed his girlfriend, and stuff like that. If he never would have admitted to it, and he or told his mama, and she told the cops, they might not have caught him. You know what I mean? Or they got some stuff on film of them walking together, and that was about it. That's the only reason why they knew to look for this guy too. That he admitted it, because they found blood on his knife, but it wasn't her blood; it was his blood, because his blood got mixed in. So they mainly seen his. So the sample that they collected was his, and they couldn't connect it to that. But since he admitted to it, that's the only way they could connect it to it. And like you see these shows where they're like, oh, that's the specific knife, but they can't tell that neither. They can only tell if the knife wound was serrated or not, and if the knife was serrated or not. They'd be like, okay, that's it. But what if they found somebody else with a serrated knife? Hey, it was this dude, and he had blood on it. Who knows? And they're like, there's contamination of evidence. There's so much skin flakes in the air, it'll contaminate that shit. So that's the scary part too. Like, what if you were just nearby and your flakes just got into it? You had that knife there, and nobody believes you. You're the only one with a knife that was serrated by this person. You can go down. You got their blood on you now. You might have just went there to help, but sometimes it's those people that are at the scenes. That's what they see, and then you're the only one there. And guess what? You're suspect number one, man. You never know. That's how you clear yourself or anything like that. But never admit to anything. So even if you kind of like say, when you guys said this, they'll take that as a mission too. So don't say that, especially if you're innocent. They put away many innocent people for that too. So that's something to be weary of. They'll use your words against you, even if that's not what you meant. So keep those things in mind. Your words can be things that could lock you up. Those are consequences too. Your words, your actions, all that shit. So keep that in mind. I would, anyways. So I've been through my own shit too. So like I said, but regardless, the cops never caught our neighbors. They came, got evidence, and all that stuff. Never heard back from it. They even had our bikes, and we told them, we had pictures of us on the bike, and they're like, well, we can't really prove it because it's from Walmart. You know what I mean? And everybody has bikes like that. And so we're like, well, can we take them back? We know that's their fucking bikes. And they're like, no, because then we'd have to come after you, which is weird. Sometimes you can feel like a victim in the eyes of the law. So we kept their fucking bikes, and they knew it. So it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it at that point, because the cops are gonna threaten to lock you up or get you in trouble or some shit. It's weird. So weird game that they have set up for us. Sometimes even when you're the victim, you could be the culprit. I guess at the same time, how the fuck does that work? Um, oh man. Oh, I am on Twitter. If anybody likes MMA stuff, hit me up on Twitter. It's at CloudSlayer53. I'll pop something up right here. Beep, beep. At CloudSlayer53 on the Twitter. And I mainly post like MMA news, basketball news as well. So it's retweets and stuff like that. I'll do screenshots if I'm watching the fights, um, or the game. Whatever I'm watching, football, all that. I try to retweet a bunch of the news that as I can. I'm not the best at like regurgitating things, but hey, it is what it is. I'm practicing. I'm trying to get better. Um, you know what I mean? If you're out there, you're trying to get better. Hey, I'm right there. You're not alone. If you're having a hard time, stop drinking. Reach out, man. Whether it's somebody locally, whether it's people online, you can hit me up. I'm not gonna do it for you. I can't do it for you. Only you can do that and pull yourself out of that dark place. You know what I mean? So it's it's a journey that you have to go through. But if you're willing to do it, it's worth it. It's so much worth it at the end to hold yourself accountable and get back on that right path. You know what I mean? Whatever path that is that you choose to walk. Love to see people come back from that stuff. Everybody loves to see it because we all have our own forms of addiction, and we all have faced certain situations where we don't make the best choices, and we face those fucking consequences. But we take them head on, and we keep fucking striving for more. We keep trying to do more and more things, not only for ourselves, for our loved ones, and whatever have you, whatever you hold precious. I'm rooting for you, brother, sister. Um, whatever you identify as. So, it, hey, you're not alone. Um, Man, can't wait for some of these fights to start coming back. Oh, that was a brutal kick, but I also, I can't. I plan on having a podcast on Sunday with some friends. Hopefully, nothing bad happens. Like somebody gets sick. Or whatever curveball life has for anybody. You know what I mean? Like, car breaks down or some shit. I just had my car break down recently, so I was fixing on that. Glad didn't cost me as much as it could have. So, um, you know, it is what it is. Figured it out. Got it fixed. Got back to work. So, um, work keeps me preoccupied, but so does my hobbies. And making good choices. Like, I don't know. For me, when I got off alcohol and all that, you know, all that limiting shit that held me, that I used as an excuse to hold myself back, and holding myself accountable. Like when I get into situations where I can either do this or that, I kind of in my head in that instant, like I weigh those factors, and I'm sure we all do, right? And in my mind, I picture like their parents crying or their sister crying or somebody crying, like crying for them. And, I imagine that that's me. And, if, how would my family feel? That's how their family would feel if anything happened. I don't know their loved ones or anything like that. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I can't say, nor will I speak for those other people, but that's what I think about. And, I don't want to I don't want anybody to feel like that. Like, what if they have kids or something? Accidents happen all the time where people fall and hit their fucking heads. Get in a fist fight, get knocked out. That doesn't kill you. You hit your head on the ground, that could kill you. You know what I mean? You're fucking abusing the brain, especially on concrete or random shit. Like at my trip on my way out after recording this, hit my head right there and die. Shit happens. Um, had a girl a few months back. She was drunk, pissed drunk, passed out, getting up from the toilet, hit her head on the toilet, broke her skull, died on impact. Didn't even know it. She was too drunk. Um, it's sad, but that's life. Also, those were consequences of her own actions because she couldn't quit drinking. I'm not saying that's gonna happen to anybody else. It could happen to you. It could happen to you fucking sober, dude. That's the crazy part. Um, but I hope not. I hope everybody good health and a long life with loved ones. Appreciate those loved ones that you have in your life. Don't take them for granted. Spend as much time as you can with them, because when they're older, you might not see them as much, and you might miss. Oh, I missed when they were younger. Stuff like that. You know, don't live with that regret. Um, do as much as you can with them, for them, whatever you can. And take those memories on with you when you go. You never know when it's your time to go. So appreciate it. No, I hope they'd appreciate it too, especially if you're lonely. You don't want your loved ones to feel that way too. So don't be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Do your best for not only them but yourself too. You know, those are your responsibilities, especially if you have kids. Um, you created that life in this world. You brought that life into this world. You helped do it. Anyways, takes two to tango, right? Um, so do the best you can for them, especially if you had like a rough coming up. Try to do something different. Don't use that as an excuse to abuse your own kids. Or treat them a certain way. Um, it's your responsibility to try to be better too. So um, if you do that to them, is that going to be their excuse to fucking beat on your grandkids? Eventually, maybe they just go psycho and just fucking kill you. You know what I mean? You never know. Not psycho, but they get distraught too, and they'll be like, "Oh, all right. Well, now I got this sharp knife in my hand." You never know. So, um, just try to do your best. Hold yourself accountable. Don't blame others, because that's when people do that, and then they're like, "Well, that happened to me when I was younger." Well, to me, that's a shit excuse, because you could do better. You're not that person. You know how it is to be treated that way. Why would you want to inflict that on somebody else and ruin somebody else's life potentially for the rest of their life? Especially if you had your own traumas and know how that feels, and it's it's not gonna make anything better. You know what I mean? Maybe you shouldn't have kids and stuff too. So maybe consider that, especially if you aren't going to, you know, be a good 100% the person that you need to be somebody's poppy or mommy. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna give it all 100%, then maybe you should hold off too. But I'm not. You're a fucking adult at this point. If you're listening, and you're thinking about having kids or anything like that, you might just be a teenager. Who knows? But you'll be an adult eventually. So um, you're gonna make those choices. You're gonna face those consequences. Good, bad, whatever. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So um, I'm not just telling anybody what to do. I'm just making recommendations, and hopefully it helps you make your choice. Like I said, I'm not you. Only you can do it if you put your mind to it. So you're a powerful human being. You're very smart. You're capable of all kinds of amazing fucking things. It's just a matter of getting up and doing it. And I wish you the best of luck. I'm trying to make that journey as well. So you're not alone. Nobody's alone. Um, Only if you push people away will you feel that and hold that negative energy around you, and allow that to be who you are. Allows you to not smile and all that shit. You know what I mean? You allow that to hold you back. Um, Even if you're hurting, if you're smiling and if it's fake, it might turn into an actual smile that throughout that day. That fake smile might get somebody else a real smile. You know what I mean? Everybody's going through something, so um, try to keep those in mind as well. So yeah, fuck. You know what I mean? You're awesome. You're more awesome than you think you are. Everybody is. So you're capable of more. Like I said, you just got to go out and do it, and make with what you have. Um, you're not going to be perfect, and nobody expects you to be perfect. But if you're making strives to do better and be better, what's the consequences of that? You get better. hey, that's pretty good. As long as you're striving. So if you're considering doing podcasts, like I said, I recommend it. Do your best to just do it. You know what I mean? Don't think about it too much. If that's what's holding you back, is you thinking about it, don't think about it. Just do it. Do it. If you fail, you fail. I might be considered failing, like I said, but I might have said that. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care if 0 people's listening or 1 million people's listening. I'm gonna be doing the best I can with what I have. If you don't have anything like like a fucking microphone, use your phone. That captures a lot of good stuff too. It can. They make it so easy for converting files and releasing content. So, um, get your fucking story out there, man. I hope to hear from anybody about their story. You know, everybody has a story. It's interesting. If not to me, it's going to be interesting to somebody. You know what I mean? Um, you have your own life experiences, and like I said, you're a very powerful human being, and you need to know that. You just have to see it yourself. Um, it's like when you see some people in a bad relationship, and you tell them, and they don't see it. You know what I mean? They don't. They just because they choose not to see it, right? It's like that. You can't just tell them and expect them to do it. They have to see it themselves, and then they have to make those adjustments or choose to make those adjustments. They choose to or not. They choose to make themselves blind. They choose to not do this or that. But end of the day, that's their choice. It can't be yours. Like I said, I'm recommending. I'm not telling anybody to do a gosh darn thing, right? So, um, I just want to say stuff, and hopefully that helps people be better people. You know what I mean? Whether I help 1 person or 0 people or 1 million people, just keep a little bit of an open mind. Then I've done my job. I've done what I've set out to do to help other people, um, whether they're in distress or not. You know what I mean? So. Um, I do love everybody, and if you're returning, I do appreciate all the support, just watching, and little comments I get. I appreciate that very much, and I look forward to making more content, and I'm going to, whether I'm considered failing or not. I don't. That's not the reason why I'm making any of these podcasts, and I want that to be fucking clear. If anybody's made it this far, it's not for that. It's not for success or anything like that. It's just get the story out, and maybe one day, you know if I become successful, that's just going to be from hard work, right? It's going to be learning from my failures. It's going to be all that shit, all that beautiful work that goes into doing that stuff. If not, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to blame the world. Maybe I just didn't work hard enough. Maybe just I didn't see what I was doing wrong to make it right. You know what I mean? That's on me. That's completely on me. So I have nobody to blame. I'm not going to blame anybody. So, and I advise you not to as well. So, um, surround yourself with like-minded people. If they're not doing things that you don't like, man, that's your call. You're an adult. Don't blame them if you don't get something off the ground. That's on you. That's not on them. That's on you. You gotta dig in. You know what I mean? I gotta. You are who you are, man. Um, you can always change it though too. Speak your mind. Speak your bit. Be at peace. All right. Um, if anything, try it. Like I said, reach out to me, CloudSlayer53 on Twitter. I'm also Facebook, Travis Cloud. So I do appreciate everything. If you like this, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you didn't, don't. Um, but I do appreciate it if you do. So I do got some merch. If anybody wants a sweatshirt or something like that, check it out. It's at cloudslayer53.live. Have some sweaters on there. Try to keep you warm. They're not ungodly expensive. You know what I mean? They're like $35 or something like that. But it is you do got to pay shipping, so it'll go up a little bit more. Um, But anyways, I hope everybody has a great night, and you know, hopefully my buddies come over this weekend. Um, you know, my door's always open, bros. Love you guys. I love all the viewers. I hope you guys have a great time. Great weekend. Hopefully see you guys fucking Sunday or Monday morning. So it is what it is. Peace. Love you guys.